They say grief is a thief. It steals your breath, your joy, your future. For me, it stole my husband, Arthur. My kind, dependable Arthur. But it also left something behind. A mystery. A tiny metallic secret that, when unlocked, didn't just unravel a life. It detonated a dynasty. And I was the one holding the match. Arthur and I had a good life. A normal life. We met in college, built a home, navigated the usual ups and downs. He was an architect, steady and calm. I was a librarian, content in my world of stories. We didn't have children, but we had each other and a comfortable existence in our quiet suburban house. Our biggest drama was usually forgetting to take out the bins, or so I thought. Arthur's funeral was a blur, a parade of well-meaning but ultimately hollow condolences. His family, his mother Clara, his sister Beatrice, and his brother Robert were all there, a stoic wall of grief. They were always formidable, the Sterling family. Old money, old names, old secrets. Arthur was the quiet rebel, the one who chose a life outside their immediate orbit, yet still respected their traditions. I always felt like an outsider looking in, even after 10 years of marriage. The hardest part came after everyone left. The silence, the emptiness. I found myself drawn to his study, then our bedroom. I needed to touch his things, to feel him close. That's when I found his wallet. It felt like a sacrilege going through it, but it had to be done to close off his accounts, cancel cards, the practicalities of grief. And there it was, tucked away in a small, almost secret compartment behind his driver's license. A key. Not a spare house key, those were on a ring in the kitchen. Not for his office or his car. This was different, older, heavier. I tried it on every lock in the house, a ridiculous, desperate ritual. Front door, back door, shed, attic trunk, nothing. It didn't belong to our life. A key. To what? Why was it hidden? And why had Arthur never mentioned it? My Arthur, who shared everything? Or so I believed. This tiny piece of metal was a sliver of doubt, a dissonant note in the symphony of our shared life, and it gnawed at me. In the weeks that followed, the grief was still there, a constant companion, but now it had a sharper edge, a question mark. I researched old keys, types of locks, anything that might give me a clue. I even went to antique shops, pretending to be looking for a prop. No one recognized it. It wasn't a standard safety deposit box key. It wasn't a common furniture key. It was unique. And the more unique it was, the more personal its secret felt. I kept an eye on his family. His mother, Clara, a matriarch carved from granite. His sister Beatrice, who always seemed to judge me with her perfectly coiffed eyebrow. And his brother Robert, a man whose smile never quite reached his eyes. They spoke of Arthur with a reverence that felt performative. They loved the idea of Arthur, the Sterling son, more than the man himself, I sometimes felt. I wondered if they knew anything about the key. But how could I ask without revealing my own discomfort, my own burgeoning doubt? I started thinking outside the box. What if it wasn't a local key? What if it was somewhere Arthur used to go? Before me, when he was younger, before he settled down. My mind kept returning to the old parts of the city, the places he'd sometimes mention with a nostalgic smile. The real city, as he called it, away from the manicured suburbs. It was a long shot, but I had nothing else. I started driving, walking, exploring areas Arthur had loved. The old bookstore he frequented, the jazz club from his college days. And then I saw it. Tucked away on a quiet side street, almost hidden by an overgrown ivy, was a small, innocuous brass plaque. Sterling & Co., ST 1903. It wasn't the main Sterling Corporation building, the gleaming glass tower downtown. This was an old building, almost forgotten, with dark, heavy wooden doors. A warehouse, maybe. An old office. Sterling & Co., the original family business I remember Arthur mentioning. before it became the multinational behemoth it was now. This building was an echo, a ghost. And as I held the key, a chill ran down my spine. It was a perfect match. The intricate design on the key, the old brass lock on the heavy wooden door. It was almost too perfect, too easy. My heart was pounding like a drum against my ribs. What was behind that door? What had Arthur kept secret for all these years? Was it an old hobby, a private sanctuary, or something more sinister? Every instinct screamed at me to turn back, to leave this mystery buried. But the librarian in me, the one who craved answers, pushed forward. I turned the key. The lock clicked. It wasn't a lavish apartment or a love nest, as my darkest thoughts had briefly suggested. It was an office, an old one, frozen in time. Dust motes danced in the sparse light filtering through the grimy windows. Old ledgers, a heavy mahogany desk, and a faded world map. And in the corner, a monstrous antique safe, like something out of a period film. My key, I realized with a jolt, was for the safe, not the door. Someone else must have had a key to the building. I tried the key on the safe. It doesn't fit. Frustration gripped me. I scanned the room again, desperation growing. I ran my hands over the desk and found a hidden drawer. Inside was a small, leather-bound journal in Arthur's handwriting and a second key, smaller, more delicate. This one, I knew, was for the safe. I opened the journal first. The first entry was dated years before I even met Arthur.
October 14th, 1998. It read, "Father's gone. Mother says it was an accident, a sailing mishap, but I saw him talking to Robert just hours before. The arguments, the threats. Something is wrong." I turned the pages, my hands shaking. November 5th, 1998. Uncle Thomas asked too many questions about the company's books. He's disappeared. Mother says he moved to Canada, but he would never just leave without saying goodbye. May 2nd, 2005. The land deal. The community fought it, but the Sterlings always get their way. Robert oversaw the negotiations. The families who refused to sell. Their homes burned down. Accidents, they called them. Not accidents. Collusion. Greed. Murder. My Arthur. My gentle Arthur. He knew all of this. He had documented it. His own family? They were monsters. Embezzlement, disappearances, arson, potentially murder. This wasn't just old money, it was dirty money, soaked in betrayal and despair. He was burdened by this truth for decades. My Arthur wasn't complicit. He was a witness, a chronicler. He had lived with this secret, terrified of what his family was capable of. And now I understood why he had kept this hidden. The truth could destroy them. It could destroy him. But he wasn't here to be destroyed. I took the second key and opened the safe. Inside, it wasn't gold or jewels. It was worse. It was proof. Ledgers, bank statements, shell company documents, burner phone records, and a stack of blank passports with various names. A whole new level of criminal enterprise. And then I saw it. An envelope. His handwriting. My name. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped it. The letter was dated 2 days before he died. 2 days before the heart attack that took a healthy 38-year-old man. It read, "My dearest Eleanor, if you are reading this, then my luck finally ran out. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I kept this darkness from you. I wanted to protect you from the rot that lives in my bloodline. But I was wrong. Silence doesn't protect. It just lets the mold grow. I was going to the authorities on Monday. I had everything. The wire transfers, proving Robert bought the judges, The blueprints proving Mother ignored safety codes on the tenement project that collapsed last year. I was going to end it, but Robert knows. I saw him watching me today. If I die, Eleanor, it wasn't nature. It was them. They killed him. They didn't just let him die, they took him. My quiet, gentle architect who wouldn't hurt a fly was murdered by his own brother and mother because he found a conscience. I sat in that dusty office for hours. I didn't cry anymore. Tears are for the grieving. I wasn't grieving anymore. I was strategizing. Inside the safe was a USB drive. I plugged it into the old laptop on the desk. Hundreds of files popped up. Audio files, video clips. I clicked on one labeled Dining Room, Christmas Eve. I heard Clara's voice, distorted but undeniable. "We cannot have an audit. Robert, fix it. I don't care if you have to burn the records. Do what you did to the tenant union leader. Make the problem go away." Then Robert's voice, "Arthur is asking questions, Mother. He's getting close to the offshore accounts." And Clara again, "Then handle him. He's weak. He always has been. If he becomes a liability, cut the branch to save the tree." I slammed the laptop shut. I had the smoking gun. I could have gone to the police right then, but the Sterlings owned the police chief. They owned the mayor. If I handed this over, it would disappear, just like Uncle Thomas, just like Arthur. No, I needed to do this publicly. I needed to detonate the bomb where they couldn't sweep up the shrapnel. I picked up my phone and called his sister. "Beatrice? Hi. Yes, I'm coping. Listen, I found something of Arthur's. A letter. He wanted the whole family to hear it. A final wish. Can I come over for dinner tonight?" "Yes, all of you. It's important." I walked into the lion's den wearing a dress bought for a funeral. I felt like I was walking to my execution. But I had Arthur's key in my pocket, and I realized I wasn't the prisoner here. I was the warden. They were all there in the dining room. Clara sat at the head, looking regal and bored. Robert was pouring wine, looking impatient. "Eleanor," said Clara, "you look tired. We really didn't think this was necessary so soon. We're all grieving." "Let's make this quick, Elle," said Robert. "I have a meeting in the morning. What is this final wish?" I didn't sit. I placed the little leather journal on the table. He kept a diary, Robert. Did you know that? Since 1998. The atmosphere in the room dropped 20 degrees. "That's impossible," Robert said. "Arthur never wrote anything down." "He wrote everything down. The tenement collapse, the bribes, the fire on 5th Street, and the conversation you had with your mother the night before he died." "This is nonsense," Clara snapped. "You're hysterical with grief. Robert, escort her out." Robert stood up, menacingly. "Give me the book, Eleanor. You don't know what you're doing." I pulled a Bluetooth speaker from my purse and set it on the table. "I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm cutting the branch." I hit play. Arthur's voice filled the room. "Robert, please. People died in that building." Then Robert's voice, cold and hard. "People die every day, little brother. Stop digging. Mother is losing patience, and you know what happens when she loses patience. Remember Dad's sailing trip?" Beatrice stood up, knocking her chair over. "Dad? You said Dad's boat capsized? You said it was a storm?" "Sit down, Beatrice," Clara shouted. "It's a fabrication." "Is this a trick, Clara?" I asked, my voice rising. "Or is this?" I cast a video from my phone to the large smart TV on the wall. It showed Robert handing a thick envelope of cash to a known city inspector.
"Arthur installed cameras in the main office 3 years ago. I told them. He has terabytes of footage. Every bribe, every threat. And the best part? I didn't just bring it here. Robert lunged for me. "You stupid bitch, you're dead, you hear me?" Suddenly, red and blue lights flooded the room through the rain-slicked windows. Sirens wailed, cutting through the tension. Robert froze. I sent the files to the FBI, the state attorney, and the New York Times 3 hours ago. They're not here for me, Robert. They're here for the Sterling legacy. The front doors burst open. FBI agents swarmed the hallway. I watched them fall. It wasn't like in the movies. It was messy. Robert screamed. Beatrice cried like a child. Clara just stared at me with pure, unadulterated hatred. As they led Clara out in handcuffs, she paused in front of me. "You're nothing. You're a librarian. You're a nobody." I looked her in the eye. I'm Arthur's wife, and I'm the one who closed the book. The trial lasted 4 months. Arthur's journal was the roadmap, and the USB drive was the vehicle that drove them to prison. Robert got life. Clara got life without parole. Turns out she had orchestrated her husband's death too, just as Arthur suspected. I sold the mansion. I sold the stocks. I liquidated the blood money and poured every cent back into the neighborhoods they destroyed. I turned Arthur's secret office into a sanctuary, a community library, a place where secrets aren't kept, but where stories are shared. They say grief is a thief. It steals your future. But sometimes grief gives you a key. And if you're brave enough to turn it, you don't just find the truth, you find your freedom.